So last year, I tried to make 5 holiday desserts from around the world.
Wait. Ay. Oh, God.
It was not very successful, so I decided to do it again. Why? I don't know. Because I'm a glutton for punishment. But I've learned a lot in the past year, and I feel like this time I'm going to tackle these 5 holiday bakes from 5 different countries with a vigor and a positive outlook that will get me to a successful outcome. It can't be worse than last year. It can't be, so let's go.
Hi Beryl, my name is Zofia and I live in a small town near to Warsaw in Poland. I would like to introduce Piernik Staropolski, which translates to gingerbread cake from old Poland. Piernik Staropolski is traditional cake served during Christmas time, New Year and all through Carnival. What is special about it is that after preparing a dough, you're not supposed to bake it, you're supposed to put it in the fridge for at least a week. Usually we are waiting 4 weeks before baking it. For the purpose of this video you don't have to wait as long. 1 week should be enough for all tastes to integrate.
Whoa. That was smoking. Oh. It's still smoking.
That grinder started smoking. I feel like maybe time to stop using it. Don't want to start. Oh my God, the smoke that's not a good start to this cake. It doesn't smell good. That smells like bad smoke.
Between each layer of cake you have layer of powidła śliwkowe, which is very thick plum jam that makes cake soft and very rich in flavor.
Oh my God. Look at this mess. Okay, we'll clean that up in a second.
So the recipe calls for cake flour, but since I don't have cake flour, I have all-purpose flour to make it. We're just gonna remove 1 tablespoon of flour for every cup of flour and replace it with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'll put it in the directions for you guys if you're gonna make this very involved cake, but it's pretty simple to do, and now I'm just gonna sift it. So I thought I had enough honey, but I don't have enough honey. I went through 3 different half tubs of honey. So another option is to use powdered sugar, but I don't have enough powdered sugar. So either I can run out and buy more honey right now, or I can take my sugar, put it in my blender and make more powdered sugar. It's a lot of workarounds. This dish is not starting out strong between the destruction of my spice grinder, spilling everything everywhere, and then also running out of ingredients. I think I'm gonna buy honey. And we're back. Leia actually went out and bought us honey, so this will be a mixture of 4 different honeys to make this spiced honey cake, which I think is fine. That's fine.
A layer of chocolate on top makes it not to dry too quickly, and you can put it in the fridge and wait for a week before eating. Taste of Piernik is integrated into all wintertime celebrations in Poland. There are dedicated spice mixes only for baking Piernik, and you can buy it in every store here.
Okay, so now we're gonna leave this in my refrigerator for a week, as you normally do when you're making a cake. Although obviously you could do it for longer, up to a month, but we're doing it for a week. See you next Monday, folks. So it's the following Monday, it has been a week, and now we're gonna bake this cake. It smells like a fermented gingerbread, which I guess is kind of what it is.
Cool. There are tons of different recipes, and not all of them require raw dough to wait before baking. Sometimes it waits after baking. My childhood memories include visiting my aunt before Christmas and spotting baked piernik on top of the wardrobe closet, wrapped up and waiting at least a week before it can be served, just to make sure it is soft enough and the taste came together. I don't see people baking piernik outside of wintertime. It seems to be strict Christmas and carnival cake. I really recommend not skipping layering with plum jam and covering it with chocolate. because it makes the cake complete. Baking piernik is rather challenging and time-consuming, so I thank you for taking this challenge and I hope you will like it. Bye.
This side looks really good. This side looks, it's the B side over here. But this side is pretty impressive. I mean, the layers look really good, the plum jam in the middle, and my glaze turned out really nice. Let's dig into my fermented cake. It's a little dense. All right. Oh. Yum. I thought it was gonna be a lot drier than it was because when I cut it, it kind of had it seemed dry. But with the jam and the glaze, it adds so much moisture back into the cake. Plum jam is really good. That's not a jam that I ever messed with before. Wow. The flavors are so pronounced, way more pronounced than I've ever had in a cake before. The texture is crumbly, but not overly crumbly. Like you can see that it holds its shape pretty well, like when you kind of do that crumb test that I've seen Paul Hollywood do on Great British Bake Off when they I don't know, it's something I've seen people do on bakes before. I want some of this glaze. Come here, glaze that had a full stick of butter. Naughty. That's naughty and delicious. Wow, that's a great glaze. That was really easy to make. Just 1 egg, powdered sugar, cocoa powder, and butter. And you've got yourself a shiny, beautiful chocolate glaze. Who knew? It tastes like a holiday bake to me, like through and through. It has all the flavors of the holidays just amped up. So interesting that we let it ferment and that you would let it ferment for even longer, for weeks. We just let this sit for a week and it has so much flavor. I can only imagine what it would be like after a couple of weeks. It'd be crazy. Crazy cake. I think that one of the redeeming qualities of this cake is the glaze and the jam, because without it, I feel like it would be too much. But the flavors of the chocolate and the plum jam balance everything out so much and give it so much kind of like depth that there's multiple layers now. Like, I mean, literally there's layers, but there's layers of flavor that you have sweet and you have warming and you have that kind of chocolatey bitterness. It's all really good. It's come together in a way that is just totally unexpected, and I'm pretty pumped. While holiday bakes are definitely delicious, a lot of us have been taught that food has a moral value, which it doesn't. But that can lead to a lot of stress around the holidays about what to eat and what you're eating. And that leads me to talk about Nourish, the sponsor of today's episode. Nourish is a site that connects you with online registered dietitian nutritionalists. Since getting pregnant, I've been working with a registered dietitian to make sure that I'm getting the foods that I need and that the babies are getting the foods that they need. Nourish registered dietitians help you learn lifelong skills, not just quick fixes or fad diets. The registered dietitian nutritionist I've been working with had me log all of my meals, and she went through them and noticed some changes I could make to help kind of amp up things. For example, I was eating egg whites in the morning for breakfast because I just love egg whites, but she recommended that I add a full egg because the yolk has a lot of nutrients that I was missing out on. Yeah, I think that's really cool. We can add an egg. Yeah. Signing up takes just about 5 minutes and you can get started pretty much right away. And if you're wondering about how payment works, Nourish accepts hundreds of different insurance plans across all 50 states. And 94% of patients will pay $0 out of pocket. What I like about Nourish is that they're changing the idea around working with a registered dietitian, and they're making it much more accessible. I've met with my registered dietitian nutritionalist a handful of times over Zoom now, and what I really like about working with her is that instead of making me feel judged, she's really helped educate me on what I'm doing and how I'm eating and helping me make better choices moving forward. At Nourish, all of the dietitians are actually registered dietitian nutritionists, meaning that they're all board certified and have gone through tons of training to be who they are today. So what that means is that these people actually know what they're talking about. So if after all this you're interested in trying Nourish, which I recommend you do, it's been a great experience for me so far, you can click the link in my description box and book your first appointment today.
Hello! My name is Alanna. I was born and raised in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, to 2 immigrant parents from the Philippines. And today I'll be talking about a Filipino holiday dessert called Bibingka. Bibingka is one of many rice-based desserts from the Philippines, which are known as kakanin. And it can actually vary a lot depending on the region of the Philippines that you're from. But the version I'm familiar with is a rice cake that's baked in banana leaves and then topped with a combination of shredded coconut, grated cheese, or sliced salted eggs, whichever's your preference.
Whoa, that was like everything back to back to back. I just felt like I was like dumping things in left and right. Love it when a bake is just like put everything in a bowl and go. Although there are a couple of other steps that we're gonna have to do, but like making the cake itself, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I've never had a salted preserved duck egg before. That tastes actually really good. Kind of cheesy almost. Definitely salty. I really like that. This is gonna be super interesting and a sweet. Having that sweet and salty combination I think is gonna be really nice. That's cool. That's really cool.
Traditionally, it's made with galapong, which is a paste made from soaked ground rice grains and water, but that's pretty hard to come by outside the Philippines, so rice flour works great too.
Cutting up the banana leaves was a little bit annoying because they kept wanting to tear, but I have my 2 sizes. This is for the inside and this is the little cap for the top. So it's gonna be like this, and then the batter, and then this. I just want to quickly say something about banana leaves. If you are gonna work with banana leaves, it is really important that you clean them because you can taste a dirty banana leaf and it's not nice. And I learned that on Top Chef.
You can bake it either as a larger cake to be sliced and shared, or you can make them smaller like cupcakes. The Philippines is a country that's deeply rooted in Catholicism, and so celebrating Christmas is always a really huge deal.
They look so good. They look nice and spongy. That's from the rice flour. I love how much they've risen. Now we're gonna put the little caps on and put it back in the oven. Oh, they're looking really good.
Bibingka would be commonly served and eaten after the simbang gabi, or evening church service, which is the mass that runs from late into the night on Christmas Eve and into the early hours of Christmas morning.
So my kitchen smells like it's on fire, so I'm gonna pull these out. They needed to be in there for 5 minutes. They've been in there for like 3 minutes maybe, but okay, hello. Definitely blackened, which is what we want, but the smell is scaring me. Taking them out. Ta-da! Ta-da! Ta-da!
For me personally though, having spent the majority of my Christmases in Canada, I'm much more used to seeing it served in a potluck setting with family and friends. But as far as I'm concerned, there's no wrong way to celebrate the holidays. That's the great thing about food too, is how it can preserve, carry forward, and share a culture with other people even when you're living far away. I hope Bibingka can be part of your holiday tradition too. Happy holidays! Maligayang Pasko!
I feel like the cat that got the cream. When recipes work, it makes me feel so good inside. Obviously I haven't tasted it, but visually it totally worked. And this was something quite outside of my wheelhouse, like cooking a cake in banana leaves with ingredients that I've never used before. I'm excited. Oh, it's so fluffy. That is so good. It kind of tastes like a pancake. It tastes like a pancake cake. I want some salted duck egg. That is such a cool combination with the salted duck egg because it's very umami forward. The cake is sweet like a pancake, and then you have this salty umami bite that pairs so well. It's kind of like the butter on top with the coconut is nice and sweet, and then you have this salty kick. This cake is amazing. I feel like the flavor of a banana leaf is very subtle, but it's kind of on the vanilla side. It just gives like a hint of flavor that permeates through the entire dish of whatever it is you're cooking. I've made a lot of dishes with banana leaves and they always leave a really nice hint of something that I just love. I think you could get away with making this without the banana leaves, obviously. You would just spray down a tin and have your cake that way. But if you feel adventurous, want to try cooking with a banana leaf, it's not difficult, you just have to cut them down to size. I feel like I'm a pro with banana leaves. We've used them so often. I'm really digging this cake. It's making me so happy how successful it was, and I just love how much it tastes like a pancake. In America, we tend to associate holiday bakes with flavors like cinnamon and nutmeg and allspice and cloves. This doesn't have any of them, but it has a very festive feeling. It feels like something special. I want to be sharing this with a bunch of people right now. I'm excited for Leia to try this. I'm just giddy. I feel like, and that's what the feeling of a holiday bake is. It makes you giddy and it makes you want to share things with people you care about. And this cake is doing all that. Yay!
Hey Beryl, hey everyone, my name is Lisa and I live in a small town in Lower Saxony, east of Bremen, Germany. Today I want to share with you a typical Christmassy baked good, which is called Weihnachtsstollen, also known as Christstollen. Weihnachtsstollen is a fruit loaf made of sweet yeast dough, packed with raisins, candied orange and lemon peel, and all of the fruit part is soaked in rum, or if you don't like alcohol, water or apple juice for at least a few hours.
So I'm gonna soak the raisins and the candied citrus peel now in apple juice. You can soak it in rum, but since I'm pregnant, I'm gonna be soaking it in apple juice, which is a totally okay swap. So I have my little juice box here, because I didn't want to buy a whole thing of apple juice, so we're gonna use juice boxes.
It's flavored with festive spices like cinnamon, vanilla or cardamom, and sometimes the loaf is filled with marzipan, a sweet paste made from ground almonds and sugar. What I love about Weihnachtsstollen is that it's not overly sweet. You can enjoy it plain or with butter, or even butter and jam if you feel fancy. Some people also like to heat or toast their slices, and I would recommend trying it all to find your favorite way of eating Stollen. Stollen reminds me of my grandmother, who always made a few loaves at the end of November. She would let them set wrapped in paper and foil for 1 or 2 weeks, allowing the flavors to penetrate through the dough.
I think of all the dishes that we're cooking in today's episode, this one's gonna be the hardest because it's a yeasted dough and it needs to prove twice. And it needs to prove for a really long time. So like if I mess it up, it's a lot of time spent. So the first thing we're doing is blooming the yeast, and then we're gonna mix everything together. And I'm starting to feel nerves, because yeasted dough is not that easy to work with. Plus I don't have a stand mixer, and hopefully I can pull this off. Our frothy yeast mixture is gonna go in. Now would be a great time to have a stand mixer, but I don't. So we're gonna do wooden spoon, and then we're gonna go hands. So I have my Fitbit, I took it off, and I've cleaned my hands thoroughly. This is gonna be probably not the most fun, but it smells really nice. All right, here we go. The old-fashioned way.
The story of Weihnachtsstollen dates back to the 14th century, with the first recorded mention in 1329 in the city of Dresden. Originally, it was a simple loaf made of flour, water and yeast.
Star Captain's update. My dough is ready. We're gonna prove it now for an hour. And I'm gonna put it in my dining room next to my heater because that is the warmest spot in my apartment. So, BRB. So it's been 30 minutes and we went and checked on it and it has not risen even in like a centimeter. It looks exactly the same. So putting it next to my radiator did not work. We're gonna try putting it in the oven like they do in Great British Bake Off to prove. And hopefully that works because we still have half hour left. I mean, we can prove it for longer if we have to. So like, we can bring this back from the edge. We can do it.
In the late 1490s, the church relaxed the fasting rules during Advent, allowing the bakers to use butter in their stollen, which made the bread richer and more flavorful, moving away from its austere roots.
So she has risen a little bit. She's not gonna look like a donut yeasted dough that's really light because there's a lot of fat in this dough. Leia taught me this. But she has risen a little bit, so now we're gonna load her up with all of the dried fruits that we just drained.
Another key factor in the development of Stollen was the influence of trade routes. As trade expanded through Europe, spices, nuts, and dried fruits became more accessible. Bakers began incorporating those luxurious ingredients into their recipes, leading to a variety of regional Stollen styles. Besides the traditional Weihnachtsstollen, some German bakers also sell Stollen with poppy seeds, nuts, or curd. The distinctive shape also is another interesting aspect of Weihnachtsstollen. Traditionally, Stollen is shaped like a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, symbolizing the birth of Jesus Christ. This connection to the Nativity adds another layer of meaning to the bread, making it not just a treat but also a representation of the Christmas story. The shape serves as a reminder of the true significance of the holiday season. Stores start selling Stollen in late October, but I personally think of it as an Advent dish. Stollen is something every German knows, though not everyone likes it. Sharing or gifting a Stollen to friends and family is a tradition I wouldn't want to miss. I highly recommend trying Stollen at least once in your life, as I believe it's a delightful and cozy piece of Christmas. Thank you for letting me be part of this festive episode, and as we would say in Germany, Frohe Weihnachten und guten Appetit, which means Merry Christmas and enjoy in English.
I think this is the most technical thing that I've ever made in my entire life. I hope that it looks like it turned out. I think it worked. That tastes so nice. It's not too dense. It's got like a lightness to it, even though it's not a light and fluffy dough. The powdered sugar is good. The bread itself is not very sweet, so the powdered sugar, even though we like dumped the powdered sugar on there, it's not an overly sweet dessert. I need some marzipan because I've never really had marzipan before. This is where the roll of marzipan is. Almondy. It kind of reminds me of an almond croissant when you get the middle bite of it and there's that like very nice almond. Maybe, do they use marzipan in almond croissants?
It's called frangipan. They're very similar. It's still an almond paste, yeah.
Leia knows everything, I swear. I'm really digging this. It was a lot of work though. The raisins are really nice and plump. God, every time I have raisins, I keep thinking I should do a raisin episode. And the thing is, like, raisins are so controversial. People like either love them or hate them. I don't know anybody who's apathetic about a raisin. People have opinions. And so I'm worried that if I do a raisin episode, it's gonna tank and it'll just be like the few of us raisin lovers in the comments being like, yeah, raisins. I'm just really impressed because there were so many steps to this bread. The fruit that was soaked in the apple juice has a really nice texture, so the bread has like a bit of chewiness to it, and then you have these pops of fruit, which is really nice. There's a nice crust on the outside, so there's a bit of crunch with the softness of the inside of the bread as well. I would say overall, it's a delicious, not overly sweet dessert bread. And there's something really special about the fact that I made this from scratch. I'm just so impressed with myself right now. And with Leia. Leia helped. There's something to be said about doing things the old-fashioned way. You really connect with the ingredients. Like me and this dough are one. I loved the marzipan bit. I want another bite with the marzipan, but I ate all of it already. My neighbors are coming over for dinner tonight and I'm gonna serve this to them, so let's see their reaction.
Oh, these fun cards.
So good.
What do you think of the consistency of the bread?
I think it's a delicious but not overly sweet treat. Pairs well with a game of Catan.
Yeah, great success. If you're somebody who loves baking, I would highly, highly recommend you try making this. It's impressive, it's delicious, and you spend a good amount of time in the kitchen if that's something that you like doing. I think that you would really enjoy the whole process.
Hi Beryl, hi everyone. My name is Lilia, I'm from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and today I want to talk to you about tarte au sucre, or sugar pie. It's a pie that usually doesn't have a top, so that it lets the crusted golden filling inside shine, and it's also much easier to cut because it's quite smooth and gooey. It's not only made of brown sugar, but of course our famous maple syrup. Although it's a cousin of the Canadian butter tart, our version is more typically Québécois, aka French Canadian, because it's been adapted from old recipes directly from France for what they call tarte au sucre. But it's been adapted to our own ingredients, such as maple syrup, which gives it its distinct flavor and, to be honest, kicks it up quite a notch.
Vermont. So I'm feeling a little confident because Lilia said that these are like butter tarts, and I have successfully made butter tarts on this channel. I think that these turned out pretty good. Oh my God. Wow. There's that. And the other thing I was gonna say was that I'm using Vermont maple syrup, so I hope I don't get in trouble with all the Canadians for not using Canadian maple syrup, but you know, we have our own maple syrup here in America and it's very good. Go Vermont.
A lot of our typical desserts do feature maple syrup, and also it was more readily available in the olden days. It's usually enjoyed around Christmas because it's quite a decadent treat. It's very sugary, very sweet.
So this is pretty nice because everything got mixed just like on the counter, and now I'm just gonna bring it to a boil and that's it. So I feel like this is good for amateur bakers like me, but maybe I'm not an amateur baker. Maybe I'm more like an intermediate baker at this point. But I still feel like in my heart of hearts, I'm amateur in that I'm second guessing everything that I'm doing, but I feel pretty confident right now because all I had to do was mix some stuff together. Now we're just gonna bring it to a boil and hope for the best. The one thing about this that I will say that is a little annoying is that you have to whisk it constantly. Those are my two least favorite words when it comes to cooking directions, doing anything constantly. The whisking, you know, it's like I go to the gym, but it's humbling. It makes your arms sore pretty quickly. We're just gonna keep on whisking though until it starts to boil. Okay, that's boiling. Those little bubbles. She's done. Look at my perfect pie crust. I made it myself. Just kidding, it's Marie Callender. You can use a pre-made pie dough though, because the recipe says that you can. So obviously I'm gonna go that route instead of making my own short crust pastry. It looks good. There's no cracks in this one. So hopefully it all turns out good.
Tarte au sucre. Its main ingredients are sugar, of course. So that's why we enjoy it sparingly and mostly around the Christmas time.
Oh my God. That tastes so good.
Oh my God.
Yum. That's gonna be so delicious.
In my family, what we like to do is while we eat the Christmas dinner, we'll put the pie in the oven to heat up, and when we're ready, we just take it out, we serve it with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, and the creamy, cold vanilla ice cream mixing with the warm, gooey, hyper sugary pie filling. It's just a match made in heaven. It goes together so well, and it really balances it out. You should try tarte au sucre if you want a taste of typical Québécois food. Thank you.
It is a dark and stormy day here in New York City, and I feel like having the slice of pie is going to do me right up. It was a lot easier to make than I thought it would be, but how does it taste? Whoa. It's really sweet, but really, really delicious. You can taste the maple syrup and brown sugar so well. The filling is really soft and silky and smooth and just glides down your throat in the most delicious way. It's definitely a sugar bomb. Like, I don't know if I could eat this entire slice. Oh, I mean, I probably could. The ice cream is good there because it helps cut the sweetness, so I would say if you make this, definitely pair with vanilla ice cream. This is a very beginner-friendly pie to make. It really was super simple for me, but it tastes really impressive, which is, I think, what you're going for when you're making a dessert, especially for the holidays. Impressive, but easy. Oh, the sun has come out. How lovely. Now I'm lit much better. Over the holidays, this is a great dessert to make because number one, if you're asked to bring a dessert, it's super simple to make. It can be served hot or cold, which I think is like one of the great things about a dessert if you don't have to worry about temperature. And you can use a store-bought crust, so you don't have to go too crazy cooking in the kitchen. And if you're making dessert, like, you know, for a dinner party at home, it's an easy one to make because there's a lot of shortcuts that you can take, and it just tastes really good. The spirit of the holidays is in here, and the taste of the holidays is in here. One more bite for the road. Yum. I just love the consistency of this. 2 bites for the road.
Hi, Beryl. My name is Hannah. I currently live in South Carolina in the United States, but I'm originally from Central Texas. And today I want to talk to you about a traditional Mexican shortbread cookie called Pan de Polvo. Pan de Polvo translates to powdered bread or dusty bread in Spanish. And these cookies get their name because they are coated in very finely ground cinnamon and sugar. The dough itself is made with shortening or more traditionally lard, and it is flavored with an anise seed tea. And then the dough is rolled out and cut into tiny little cookies, usually no bigger than about an inch across. And after they bake up, they are dunked while they're still warm into the fine cinnamon and sugar. They end up soft on the inside and a little bit crisp around the edges, and they are so, so delicious.
Washing your hands once they've been covered in Crisco is no joke. They are slicked up and it's like not really coming off. So if you do have a flathead mixture, I'd recommend you use that, but I didn't have one, so I had to use my hands, but man, I'm lubed. So this is our anise and cinnamon tea that we boiled. It's cooled down now and we're gonna use it in the dough to wet it. It smells so good, just like the holidays. I love it.
Pan de Polvo is popular all over Mexico and Central and South Texas, which is where my family is from. And it is usually made for holidays like Christmas or Easter, but you'll also see it at weddings or birthdays or family reunions or basically any time that a lot of people are going to be together.
So I've wrapped this in cling film and I'm going to put this in the fridge now for around 20 minutes and then we're going to roll them out and make some cookies.
Pan de Polvo has a way of bringing people together simply because they are a labor of love to make. They're easy, but there are a lot of steps involved, and so it just makes sense to wait to make them until you have friends and family around to help with all the work.
The recipe says to use a 4-centimeter rounded cookie cutter, and it literally just so happens that I have a set of cookie cutters with a 4-centimeter rounded size. So these cookies are going to be the right size, which is very exciting for me because usually I'm winging it when it comes to stuff like this. Like when I did my Brazilian cookies in my cookie episode, those ended up way bigger than they should have been, but these puppies are gonna be the right size.
I have very fond memories of making batches of pan de polvo at Christmas time with my family growing up. We would gather at my grandmother's house with my mom and my aunts and cousins and spend an afternoon baking and then sit around my grandmother's table enjoying the fruits of our labor. I think people would really love pan de polvo. It's a little bit of a step up from a traditional buttered shortbread cookie because of the anise seed and the cinnamon flavors that just evoke Christmas in your mind. I love making recipes from my childhood for my family now. I have lived away from my family for the last almost 11 years, and so making recipes like this for my husband and my kids helps me to introduce them to the culture that I know and love so much and lets them see part of their own heritage. Family recipes like this one connect you to your past, to your family that might still be living, and the ones who have already passed away. I really hope you enjoy the process of making pan de polvo, and more importantly, the process of eating the pan de polvo, and that it brings a smile to your face when you try it.
I'm excited for these cookies because I like that we made that cinnamon and anise tea, and I'm just curious how that flavor is going to be imparted also. Look at the size, they're so cute. I feel like it's a 1-bite cookie. Whoa. It's a 1-bite cookie, but like, you gotta chew all that cookie now, and I'm on camera. That cookie slaps. You can taste the anise in it and the cinnamon inside the dough itself. The cinnamon sugar on top, obviously like, who doesn't love cinnamon sugar? But the flavor of the cookie itself is really, really delicious. I don't often cook with Crisco, but I do think that cooking with Crisco, in this case, gave us a really good laminated dough. When you bite into it, you can feel that there are like layers to the cookie itself. It's not a hard, crispy bite, it's like a layered bite. It's really, really satisfying to chew. I recently did a cookie episode, and I would say on a scale of like easy to difficult, these cookies were easy to make. I was worried when I was rolling them out. Rolling things out stresses me out. Because rolling things out can be really complicated, but the dough held together really well, and I just, put my cookie cutter in and boom, it was easy. Yeah, that Crisco is definitely what's making these cookies so good. Every time I bite these, I just like it more and more. There's just such depth to the cookie flavor. It's not just like a sugar cookie or a shortbread cookie. You're definitely really getting the flavor from that anise and cinnamon tea that we put in it. Yeah, good on you guys. I think this is a great holiday cookie. I love the size of them. It's perfect for a cookie swap. Like Leia was saying to me earlier, if you're somebody who bakes a lot for the holidays, I would definitely add these to your repertoire. They have those warming spices that's so typical and like lovely during the holiday season, but they're different enough that they're not just gonna taste like every other cookie out there, which I think is pretty cool. And if you make these, go heavy on the cinnamon sugar like I did because it's really nice. I hope you enjoyed this episode all about holiday bakes and they've inspired you for the holiday season coming up. Let me know in the comments which of these you might be interested in making. All of the recipes are on my website, beryl.nyc, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps support the channel. Until next week, I'm leaving you with our cookie episode and our holiday bake episode from last year that had just a couple of meltdowns, no big deal. This year we did a lot better. And I will see you all in my next episode.